Susan,
Yes.
tell us, how did you find landscape architecture, or did landscape architecture find you?
That's an interesting way of putting it. I think it's a perfect profession for me, but I didn't know it existed until I finished my first college degree, which was at UC Santa Barbara in environmental studies. And if I'd known about landscape architecture, luckily that was a good background for that.
Right.
But I heard of it and I thought, landscape and architecture, what a weird juxtaposition of terms. I didn't, I became curious as how does that work together? And I also really wanted to do something with plants because at UCSB I did take a wonderful field botany class where I really got to learn the plants of California and really wanted to do something with it. But the other thing I considered doing was starting a native plant nursery.
So fascinating. So did you have like a single teacher that was really inspirational?
Yes, Dr. Haller.
Dr. Haller.
Yes, and he inspired so many people.
Was he the field botanist?
Yes, and he also took beautiful photos of California native plants. He was a very shy person, but he used to give these, back when it was slideshows, he would give these multi-screen slideshows of the most gorgeous photos of California native plants. Anybody would fall in love with native plants after seeing that. So it became a passion and a hobby, and then, but I was a planner. So
I'm sorry, did you garden as a child by any chance? I didn't really.
Not really, although it wasn't the hands-on thing. It was really the field botany that made me fall in love with plants.
Field botany.
Field botany.
All right, now I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but what year was landscape architecture?
When did I graduate from it?
Yeah, when did you come to the field?
So I was actually working as a planner. I was always interested in the environment and, having a healthier environment. So I helped to write the coastal plan for Santa Barbara County, and then I did environmental impact analysis and so forth. But I didn't see that as adding up to something that was really practical that made a difference in the world in the short term. It's sort of a geologic time. It was going to make a difference. So I found out about landscape architecture, and I was amazed that such a profession existed, and it sounded so great. It was in the fall of one year, and I was able to start at Cal Poly in the winter. It was really lucky. And the learn by doing was really good for me.
Learn by doing, there you have it.
Because I had this broad generalist degree in environmental studies, so that was a good combination. And landscape architecture has really gone in an amazing and wonderful direction, where this time I found out the things that landscape architects are able to do for the environment is astounding.
But so, tell me, did you, out of the box, did you start? You have your own firm now.
Right.
Did you go straight to your own firm, or did you?
Well, it's mandatory that you work for another landscape architect for a minimum of 2 years before you can take the licensing exam.
Gotcha.
And so that's what I did.
And
then I started my own firm.
That we should know, or?
Well, it was a really, really kind and wonderful person.
That's good. We can stop right there. That's good. So what would I say? So I've been interviewing women at the convention here, and about how they came to the field of landscape architecture. And of course, you know me, and I've been involved in the horticulture and design world for some time too. My observation is there weren't a whole lot of women in landscape architecture.
That's so true.
When I
It's
first got
absolutely
started.
true.
So, do you parody? Would you like, parody in...
Well, that's one of the reasons I started my own firm as soon as possible.
So,
because the guys in the office kept forgetting I wasn't the secretary. So I thought, I had
Can
this
you
goal.
get me a cup of coffee, honey?
It wasn't the guy who hired me. It was my coworkers.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yes. And so I did have this goal, and interestingly, it was actually rather modest. I thought landscape architecture is something I could do at home while I was raising a family.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks a lot for talking to me.